What is up, everybody? Hopefully, the day is going wonderful. Hopefully, everybody's having a great and wonderful day out there in the ye old wasteland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you would like to check out today's mod, there is a listing for it. There is a chat command. It is exclamation FO4 Appalachia. Let me go ahead and give y'all that one. That way, if anybody has any problems spelling, there we go. There we go. But hopefully everybody's having a great day. We are here with Desire, checking out the Fallout 4 Appalachia mod project. Eleanor showed this off last year for C3, and it was absolutely wonderful watching them play this one. Desire, how's your morning going, bud? Well,
Very
afternoon
well,
now for
thank
you.
you. Hello, everybody.
Let us know how the sound is. Hopefully you can hear them. If I need to boost them up, I can absolutely boost them up. But for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Fargassier. I am a Fallout 76 content creator. And yeah, this is, I'm very excited to have a hands-on with this so I can actually see the hard work that the team's done so far. I am super excited for this one because the simple fact is, at the end of the day, I love Fallout 76. So twist my arm to sit here and play a single player Fallout 76. What up, Legend? How we doing this morning? What up, y'all? How we doing? Legend's gonna be on the channel at 3 p.m. so we can get ourselves a little bit of an overhaul of Fallout survival. I don't Desire, do you like survival mode?
Not particularly.
Yeah, I didn't think I was the only one.
I much prefer the vanilla experience, but having said that, had to do a lot of work with this to make it kind of equally suitable for survival and normal mode.
Right.
So you'll find plenty of beds and things to sit at and plenty of chem stations to make it suitable because the world is so big.
It genuinely is. It's surprising how much like room there is for activities inside of, like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I am on easy mode, chat, because I am do not care. I will do this later. The closer this gets to launch, I will absolutely do a survival run through this. But I do like looking through the notes on this. Like, a lot of players, like Alan, Chicken Bone, everybody's gonna realize like how much work you put into this, because one of the first things that I did was I was like, all right, Green Country Lodge. All right, let's come in here. I want to see if the actual weight bench is here. And guess what? It is.
Like the time investment in this has been insane. I think at the moment it's hard to put an exact figure on things.
Yeah.
But I, compared to the total amount of the world that you can explore in Fallout 76, I estimate that about 40% of that has now been realised here in Fallout 4. So the project is now entering its 7th year. But the first year really was spent trying to do a lot of stuff in the background.
Right.
The things that players don't see that make the world work. And a lot of the preparation work. So really about 5.5 years of solid just doing the level design and actually working on the world itself. So it'd be easy for people to think, well, does that mean it's going to take another 10 years to finish this? Because
at least 15. At least 15.
It might look like it. I'm kind of guessing that it'll all be done in the next 3 years, I think. The thing you find with these kind of projects is that development tends to accelerate over time.
Right.
So to put it into context, if I just describe what's happened since C3 last year, in just 1 year, about half of Skyline Valley has been completed.
Mm-hmm.
As we meet today, about a quarter of Burning Springs has been completed, and the Forest and Toxic Valley have been expanded quite significantly.
What up, Sully? So what's going on, y'all? What up, Eleanor?
I
don't know why I didn't hear the raid alert or anything like that. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, God. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, wow. Hashtag wow, Bubbles late. Welcome in, everybody. Eleanor just raided into us, Desire. But we're sitting here talking about the Fallout 4 Appalachia project, and we were just talking about how a timeline scope of when last year, when Eleanor checked this out, of how much work has been completed since the wonderful, wonderful showing last year. And if you want to kind of repeat that for the folks that just popped in their desire.
Yeah, so
It's
in just the past 12 months, around about half of Skyline Valley has been completed. As we meet today, about a quarter of Burning Springs has been completed, and much more of the Forest and Toxic Valley regions have been completed. So in overall terms, compared to the amount of the map that you can actually travel to and explore, about 40% of Appalachia is completed, and by completed I mean it's done, it's ready to play, just as you're playing it now. And we're pretty close to 50% already.
And see, and
So
that's the crazy thing about like projects just in general. And it's the same way outside of like stuff inside of gaming. It's like with anything. At first it takes a while to get the project going and everything, but
yeah,
the more time goes on, the faster and faster it absolutely goes.
absolutely, yeah,
I just came
yeah,
down to the big whales because I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to see what we're gonna wind up having as far as, because it's mole miners in 76, and so
here it's raiders.
yeah, it definitely throws my brain for a loop, seeing different, like when I first went into like the starting area for this mod project, it threw me off to see the like Rust Devils, and I was like, oh god, I definitely need to play this on a little bit higher level of a character, because elsewise I'll have to turn on God mode, and you know, I just want to see, and like, so that's the cool thing about this. If you want access to
scales,
this, go ahead.
The way it scales, I really want the player to be able to go anywhere at any time and do whatever they want. That's really important. Otherwise, it flies in the face of the open world concept, I think. So to manage difficulty, everything everywhere scales to the player and with your level. So it may be that it's possible to go to Appalachia straight from Vault 111. That's a possibility.
Right.
So if you run into the Rust Devils, normally they would start at around about level 15, so you could be out leveled, but they've all been tailored so that they'll scale to the player and with your level. Most of the difficulty when you travel between regions, some regions are more difficult than others, as they are in 76. But the way that's achieved here is by the kind of enemies you encounter, the frequency with which you encounter them, the numbers of enemies that you might encounter, and the type of enemies you might encounter. So the forest here is pretty much the vanilla walk in the park that it is in Fallout 76. You're not going to encounter much that's going to give you too much of a problem. But if you then go to Toxic Valley, you're going to get a bit of a shock, because suddenly you're going to encounter rad scorpions and things, and more of them. So the mix of creatures, the environments, the density of creatures and the frequency of encounters, that's where the difficulty lies here. But wherever you go, everything's going to scale to you and with your level. So the aim really is that you still have the open world ability. The world is still open to you to do what you want, when you want, and go wherever you want. But it's always going to offer something of a challenge and never be a cakewalk. That's the thinking behind it.
Right, exactly. And so Legend just asked about the requirements as far as F4SE or anything like that, as far as what it should be working with.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So one of the aims of this project is to make it as easy and as simple as possible for players to install and use. So it has no dependencies other than you need Fallout 4 and its official DLCs. So that includes the Workshop DLCs, Automatron, Far Harbor, Nuka World, the usual ones. You don't need any Creation Club content or anything additional. They're optional, as they are with the base game. And it'll work on any version of Fallout 4. The original version, the Anniversary Edition, the next-gen version. So the idea is, and Fargassier, you've done this, so you just drop the files into your Fallout 4 directory, enable it in your mods menu, and away you go. That's it.
It genuinely is plug and play. It like, so I have the updated version of Fallout 4 with the most recent release, and yeah, it absolutely works.
I can't help but use my Todd Howard thing here. It just works.
You know, I was just about to say that, and then I'm like, nope, I'm not going to. So
That's it.
if you'd
It
like to
just
stay
works.
up to date with everything, that is the Discord link right there. So you can stay up to date with the ye old projects. Now, there is something that we want to show you about this project. Now, if you're a Fallout 76 fan, in Season 24, there have been changes to the game. And now we have Bounty Hunts, which is a repeatable event that you can do in the Burning Springs. One thing that we used to have the ability for repeat was caravans at Milepost Zero. And as you can see, this area is closed off because currently in Fallout 76, you cannot get to it, though in AMAs, Rush and the team has talked about something coming to this location or a set of somethings coming to this location. But as you can see right here, there's nothing as it stands. But let's go to a different location, and by the power invested in me, I've been given a console command. Now, you'll have to unlock this in a certain set of ways to be announced in a future update. But we can change things. We can mold our Appalachia, because this is set 185 years after Fallout 76. Because remember, Fallout 76 is the first in the Fallout games because it's easier to put things at the very, very beginning so you can be a little bit more creative. And as Desire says in the notes, you don't want to like change any lore or anything like that.
No, so everything here, I've gone to great pains to try and keep it consistent with established lore and canon. So what you're looking at there
is a load
is
screen.
Milepost Zero. Actually, that looks like before it was implemented at all, and it looks like as it currently does in 76. So the idea is that as the sole survivor who's going back 185 years after Fallout 76, the world is highly reactive to things you do. So through your course of actions and your decisions in Appalachia, it is possible to re-establish Milepost Zero, which is consistent with the fact that it was once abandoned and you can re-establish it. So the console command that you have is the magic trick to bypass having to do all of the necessary steps. But the point is that the world will react to what you do, and when you go back, you will see that you're able to re-establish Milepost Zero.
I have to say, this is probably the longest loading screen that I have had this entire time. I don't get it. I don't. Have you implemented the monorail yet? Critical has asked.
No, not got that far yet.
You know, Eleanor, that is kind of what we are seeing right here. It almost appears to be the infinite loading screen, even though
like
we can do. Oh man, what happened? I definitely did not press Alt F4 because, you know, this is why I always turn on like saving when I do survival runs. I always do that for the simple fact that yeah, exactly. Nice load screen mod. It's one of those things that Fallout 4, as we know, likes to crash, or sometimes you get into a bit of a lemony snickets as far as it goes. But yeah, I always turn on saving when it comes to that right there. Absolutely, positively. Yeah, like you always need them. You always need them.
That's a good idea if you're playing survival to keep saving.
It really is one of those things that, like, I don't know how Jabo and them do it, where it's just like they just don't, and I'm like, oh god, I get scared about this sort of thing. You know what I mean? I just absolutely get scared in that regard. When it's like when I don't have the ability to do something like that. So now, through the power invested in me, well, Milepost Zero.
You're referring to the monorail.
I hope I've fast traveled far enough away. I just went to the Slumber Mill Mall.
Yeah, you probably have.
It
so
looks
the
a bit
monorail
different.
in Morgantown, that has
Hey,
been
Kate,
done.
appreciate you. Thanks so much for the donation. All right, go ahead.
The monorail in Morgantown has been done. The monorail in Savage Divide, the big suspended monorail, not got that far yet.
Yeah, I love the location, like the just the aesthetics of Fallout 76.
Yeah.
And I like so for me, the great thing is, as a Fallout 76 player, getting to see the hard work that y'all have put in to the project in recreating everything. That's something that instantly I notice, you know what I mean, as far as it goes. Of just seeing the work.
Have you used
Yeah.
Have you used the console command yet?
Yes.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
I just got attacked by ghouls and wolves. So my subpar gameplay got put into existence there for a second. But man, what's this? Huh. Crazy. Looks like kinda looks like it did when it got introduced. Insane.
There's
Now,
an NPC there you can chat to.
inside
He alludes
or outside?
outside, just to your right there.
I must be blind
Behind you.
as... Oh, good Lord.
There he
Apparently,
is.
across the pond, it's different.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yes. Have you
Yes.
seen Rosie?
I have not seen Rosie. I do not want to go to the tower and talk to her. She's going to send me on the DMV quest. I don't like it.
He alludes to a quest that will be implemented later.
Yes.
Well, I will... I'll have to... I'm going to play more on this. Because personally, to me, like, having these sort of projects and doing this sort of stuff...
If you if you go inside,
yeah, that's what I was
going
going
inside Milepost Zero.
I was going to ask, can we go inside?
Yeah, so there's a bit of a difference here. You'll remember then from Fallout 76, it was possible to buy themes for Milepost Zero
Right,
and decorate it based on those themes. A little bit like the player house in Fallout 3. You could buy themes and set it up.
Right.
You can't do that here, but what I've done instead is the interior for Milepost Zero works like home plate in Diamond City.
Okay.
It's a player home. So if you go right to the very end,
Yeah.
that's just letting you know what jobs were
Available. Yeah, I always... Look, as somebody who instantly loved 76 at launch because I got to just listen to holotapes and read terminals, I am a person
If you go right to the very end, in that red light there on your right.
Yeah, where the gun dealer was. Yep.
You couldn't get in there in 76.
Right.
The gate was inaccessible, but you can get in it here. And if you go
Oh, okay.
you have a workbench,
Nice.
and you can scrap everything inside, and you can decorate it and set it up to your heart's content. And uniquely for Fallout 4, you can actually fast travel anywhere in the world from this interior. So it's a good place to set up as a base of operations, if you like, once you've accessed it.
I mean, honestly, being able to like fast travel away from this location and then having this be a player home, because that was my hope for Caravans, was that it was going to be like a hub of like player trader type stuff, or like something you kind of set up as your own. So
yeah, I was hoping for a similar thing. I think they had that vision for the White Spring originally, and it was like a player hub, wasn't it? And but it never seemed to really take off here.
You know, it got turned into where all of the vendors were for like the NPC factions and stuff like that. And honestly, I like it for that because it gives new players a great place to like go to. So if they need like the generator plans and stuff like that now, you know, I think it's definitely one of those that's very nice as far as it goes. Now I want to go back up to the forest just to kind of see up here. There's also a code that I need to do. I need to grab. It hasn't been too terribly long since it and it may trigger some Fallout 76 players once I enter this code that's definitely not setting it to the second month in the year, but like while we test out Morgantown Airport, we'll have a little bit of fun up here, just kind of see. And that's like, I'm excited, you know. I'm excited to see more about this project because like, you know, I like for a second there, my brain was like, oh yeah, this is perfectly fine, you know. Cool, sweet. You know, I'll have scorched up here. Nope. Not scorched. I kind of. Oh my god, that's crazy. I had to enter something in real quick.
There is a bit of a lore explanation behind these ghouls. So the idea is that way back in time, the Scorch Plague was eradicated, so there were no Scorched about anymore. So the petrified feral ghouls, they're a new tier of feral ghoul. They're slightly tougher than your standard feral ghoul. And these were victims of the Scorch Plague that were in the early stages of petrification. But then the Scorch Plague was eradicated, and so they've been stuck.
I like
in
that.
This semi-petrified state and just ghoulified over time.
I like that. You know, I didn't even think about the fact that like God mode just gives you infinite ammo. Shows how much I use this because I'm sitting here trying to reload. But like that's a cool little thing because like that's how I had to wrap my head around when I first jumped in because I'm like, wait, what? And then it's like it's 185 years, so of course things are going to be different, and of course the Scorch Plate is going to be wiped out. But you could also say a lore dump on that one is how many nukes players have been launching out this entire time.
That's a great point, actually. And somebody in the chat is asking about the missile silos.
Oh, okay.
It will be possible to get into the missile silos. I'm not going to spoil anything about the eventual storyline because it is littered with your typically morally grey Fallout scenarios. So I don't want to spoil anything, but in short, yes, you'll be able to get into the missile silos, but it's not going to be simple. You're going to have to complete a number of steps in order to be able to do that. So 200 years later, the automated systems in the missile silos have failed. There are no longer any Scorched officers wandering around with the key cards you need. So getting into them is going to involve several steps. You're going to have to gain Commander-in-Chief status. You're going to have to fool the system, if you like, into thinking that you are the president. And in order to do that, you're going to have to get into the presidential wing of the Enclave bunker under the White Spring. But in order to do that, you're going to need a presidential pass card. And in order to do that, you're going to have to go somewhere else and do something else. So it's not as simple as just being able to go to the missile silos and get in and have a run around or even launch nukes. You're going to have to go through a number of steps to be able to do so.
By the way, Desire, just to point out the level of detail that y'all have done, inside that fridge normally like is a scorched head, and you put a capless skull inside of a jar. So when we say that like they have been putting in some work, I would say
we go to insane lengths. The number of screenshots and game recordings from 76 I have is just insane. There's a whole hard drive just full of reference stuff, and we try to do something that players that have played 76 will have a few member berries to find and things that will remind them, but at the same time depict that things are 185 years later and time has passed. So people who haven't played 76 and are more familiar with 4 will still have lots to find. And one of the aims actually is the way I'm trying to manage that is, let's say somebody who hasn't played 76 may have watched some streams, may have been on the wiki or seen all kinds of things, streams or YouTube videos or screenshots, and then they go into it in Fallout 4 and they look for the things they've seen. I want them to be able to find that. So the accuracy is it's painstaking. But it's
I can
worthwhile.
imagine.
It pays off. So I'm glad you noticed that one.
I can, and that's my thing is like last year. That's why I was so excited, like with Eleonora, like showing off your project. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm very excited for this one because I love 76, like the world, the atmosphere, being able to play with friends and stuff like this. And this is definitely not going to trigger any Fallout 76 fan.
So you can see here, you're in Helvetia. You can see the decorations, and because the storyline here centers around the Rust Devils and their arrival in the Commonwealth in Fallout 4, every February in the Pip-Boy map, as you can see here, the Rust Devils Protectrons come back to Helvetia, and they still follow the route for the parade, so they'll still kind of waddle along with their old programming.
I will agree with Eleonora. If we could get like mask on them at all, even if it was like deteriorated mask, like just broke down, just with like one owl eye or like a candle hat or something like that would.
That's a pretty cool idea, actually.
I don't hear the music.
I know Ellie is such a fan of owl masks. She has a wide collection.
I mean, you know, it is Eleonora after all. But yeah, like it does not seem like the music is included, which good thing, also bad thing. But hey, if you're playing this mod project, go to YouTube, type in Fallout 76 10-hour loop, and you can have all the music that you want. You can march with the robots.
I would love to put the music in, but
exactly.
There are
Exactly.
You have to be careful.
I mean, look, that's like
I
for
might
me.
actually, I might scour the internet and see if there's a royalty-free tune or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something.
It does sound a bit bland without it.
Like for me, that's why I like when I tell people, I'm like, if you'd like to know what I'm listening to, type in !radio. And like when I'm streaming, because like of copyright, because I'm on YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep. All the little junk pieces. Okay. Yes. Okay.
This particular location was a nightmare.
I had to be a nightmare. You know, hold on a second. I want to know. Okay, so I'm not seeing that area. The other location that would be a nightmare is in the Cranberry Bog at the small little museum. That would be another nightmare spot for all the little junk pieces right there. But yeah, no, this is absolutely cool. Like, as far as it goes with the amount of work that y'all did to it, I'm trying to see on here where if there was a different one. Oh, okay, yes. I am down with this one, for this one, through the power vested in me, and he doesn't realize which one I'm doing right now because I'm just going off the rails. And I wasn't told I couldn't do this. So you know, we might go up to, just to give you a hint, might go up to Vault 76, by the way, in the month of June.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, now the amount of detail and the amount of work that you can clearly tell, and like the fact that you can even do just this, you know what I mean? It's insane to my brain.
The things that make this possible, a lot of people comment on the accuracy and everything, but the things that make this possible, really, despite the fact that 76 is in an updated version of the same engine, many Appalachia in Fallout 76 was constructed largely using the asset set from Fallout 4 and its DLCs.
Right, exactly.
And this is the same. And that makes sense from a development standpoint. Why would you spend all that money building those assets and then just make one game with it? It wouldn't make real sense. And it provides a consistency, I think, in the universe, which is good. In the same way they did with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So part of the accuracy comes from that. And the units of time and scale are identical between the two games, so it's those factors that make this possible at all. The only other factor is having a huge amount of time on your hands, because it takes a long time if you're doing it from literally just looking at it and trying to copy that. And it's a little bit like when you're doing this in the creation kit, it's not entirely different from when you're playing around with settlement mode and you're building settlements in either 4 or 76, because all of the kits, the pieces that you build things with, they don't snap together in the creation kit the same way they do in workshop mode, but they're all kind of scaled. It's kits. It's like digital Lego.
Right.
So once you begin to recognize which pieces are used, you tend to use those pieces to build an anchor for yourself, and you build around that. And then the real time, as you've noted, comes from the cluttering and trying to get all of the props and things right. That's the real time consumer. But when it comes to, like, you're at Grafton Dam at the moment,
Right.
putting the building itself together is rather straightforward. But getting all the clutter and everything right, as it is in 76, that's the time consuming bit.
I can definitely understand that, for the simple fact that, I mean, there's, like, it'd been so long since I played Fallout 4, like, through the DLCs and stuff like that, that, like, when we got the Mirelurk steamer, I had forgot that was part of the bit. Oh, Jesus Christ, Mike, I appreciate the 50. Absolutely, positively, buddy. That's like, it's always such a great thing when the community can come together and raise money for great causes while we show off great projects and stuff like that. So absolutely, positively appreciate you, buddy. And
that's what it's all about.
And honestly, that's the thing I love about the Fallout community, is that it's like, as far as creators, it's not competition or anything like that. It's all about just having fun, trying to make sure everybody stays informed, stays entertained. I mean, because Fallout as a project, as a franchise, I mean, whether it was Fallout 1, 2, Tactics as your first, or 3, like it was for me, it no matter what, at the end of the day, it's like when I was at the LA premiere, I got asked a question about the TV show, and like what I hope for with fans coming into the Fallout TV show is, no matter what, it's just, I hope somebody finds the same love for the franchise that I did when I first played Fallout 3, and for the community to come together. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Actually, no, you can't. Actually, actually, no. I changed my. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I have to say, I'm with this project. I'm a relative. I mean, I know it's been several years since this has been going, but compared to some of the people in this community and the Skyrim community, I'm still a newbie, really. This is my first kind of big major project for a Fallout game. And I've been involved in a number of communities over the years, the Grand Theft Auto community and other modding communities. But I have to say, there isn't another community like this one. This really is. Community is the word.
Really
I don't know any other community that does this kind of thing with charity events and modding marathons and all the other stuff it does. It really is a very warm and welcoming community, and that's to its credit.
I mean, I think that's one thing that makes the Fallout community so much different than every other community, or even just like Bethesda
definitely.
community just in general, because so with Bethesda being so good with mods being out there, it really did help flourish a like mod community, and then that mod community really worked on itself through the years. I mean, good lord, like Nexus mods, it's my Lanta, for them to have the part that they do in like helping with everything. I definitely enjoy that. I definitely enjoy it. You know what I mean?
You just don't see this level of engagement in any other community. I mean, of course, other studios have modding communities around them, but nothing like the one you have around Bethesda's games. It really is something, makes you proud to be a part of it. And as cheesy as it may sound, that's one of the factors that keeps me going on this, because people ask, like, this is a huge project. What keeps you going? Some of it is the enthusiasm and the interest in it, but some of it is that sense of community. I just want to give something to that community. And people keep asking, well, what are you going to do with this eventually? Well, the plan actually is, once it's finished and I'm happy with it and I've done my part and I've gone as far as I can with it, I'm just going to hand it over to the community and they can do whatever the heck they want with it. Because I can't possibly have a monopoly on good ideas or things to do. There's a lot I want to do with this. But I'm more excited, actually, that by the time this is finished, the modding community out there has the biggest possible canvas they have on which to go and paint stories and put quests in and do all kinds of things. So hopefully it takes on a life of its own, rather like 76, and is constantly having content added to it. That would be ideal, I think, in the long run. because there's just no way on God's good earth I'm ever going to be able to fill this with content as big as it is. I can just do the bit that I can do,
But I mean,
and then hand it
think
over
about
to
it.
the community.
What folks have done in Fallout 4 just in that area space. Imagine them having a new area space that
and that's
kind of
the
untouched.
point. That's the point. One of the things that strikes me about, not so much in Skyrim, but in Fallout 4, Fallout 3, as big as the worlds are, once you've put quite a few mods in there, very suddenly those big worlds feel very small and very crowded. Whereas logically, the map here is pretty much about at the limits of what Fallout 4 could handle. So you're not going to get a bigger map to be able to do things in than this.
Yeah, that's the thing that very much makes me excited to see. Like what everybody has. And that's what I tell people. It's like 76, it's not the gameplay loop that keeps me coming back to the game. It's the community.
Yeah.
It's the friends you make, the fun times, you know what I mean, along the way.
Yeah. Well, I have to confess I'm not great at 76 because I'm constantly getting distracted recording the gameplay and taking screenshots. But I have established myself as a trader in plans. Because I'm all over the place, I tend to accumulate lots and lots of plans. So if you're ever in 76 and you see my camp, which isn't particularly good, by the way, it's near Vault-Tec Agricultural Research Centre, and you're sure to get some of the rare plans that you probably haven't got already.
I mean, genuinely, the question is any of us really good at 76? I mean, like, I mean, let's be real. I mean, choice paralysis is a huge thing in 76. Like, you have an event every 20 minutes. You have the event at the top of the hour. You have bounties going off. You have nuke runs going off. You have so much going on in the way of the world that you really have to sit down and be like, oh, do I really want to do this? Do I want to do this? Do I want to build? Do I want to do anything? You know, it's definitely one of those things that you can be good, but can you be like good at the whole thing? I mean, look, I create content on the game. I'm not good at the game. I just have fun. You know what I mean?
Probably better than I am.
I'm a loot goblin.
One of the features here actually is I'm trying in a single player context. I'm trying to get that feeling here. So that's why when you've just been to Helvetia and you saw the Protecton parade, and you're heading to Vault 76 to see something else, there are things that only happen in the world at specific times in the Pip-Boy calendar. So there's something happens every January, there's something happens every March.
Exactly.
There's something happens every month. So wherever you go in the world, and whatever you're doing, there'll be something to experience, something different, and it keeps it fresh and helps with replayability.
And I very much like that concept of like, hey, you know, this is like, you know, as time goes, because the game's always moving forward, not just in a development state, but also in a like day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year. So having game states set up to where you're like, oh, it is June. Oh, that person does show up here still to this date. Now my question is it in the typical spot over there, or is it okay? Just want to make sure.
You can see it. Yeah.
Want to make sure that it's in the typical spot. Because I was like, I know it's right up around here, but I always want to make you know what I mean? Is that
a plasma gun you've got there?
Yes, plasma shotgun.
Brilliant. So this is kind of like a single player attempt to have the Meat Week location. There isn't a lot to do here right now. That's coming further down the line.
Well, where's Charlie?
But there's Larry.
Charlie. No.
That's not Charlie. That's
I don't listen. It will be Charlie until I see Charlie, because I do cooking videos, and I always like to make the joke. I don't like that there's a Yalgua up here, but that's okay. We're just gonna skirt past that point up there. I don't, yeah, don't tell. Surely no understand what's in meat cook. But dude, this is nice having like. I'm glad that this shopping cart is not like in pristine condition. Everything looks weathered.
So this guy here is a vendor.
Yeah.
He's able to sell any meat from Fallout 4 and its DLCs. So there's no need to keep traveling between world spaces to get what you need. He can sell anything. So he has any kind of meat available. He appears here in June every year, right through summer, and then for the rest of the year, he can be found at the trading post in Skyline Valley. So
nice. Okay.
Between those two things. So he's available all year round, but depending on the time of the year, you might have to go somewhere else to find him.
Now, I do like too that in your notes you mentioned about like you mentioned about meat from all DLC, like having ammo available from all DLCs and not having to travel through different locations just to get ammo for your weapons and stuff like that. Yeah, genuinely, it's been a while since I played this character, so I did not know what I even had on this character until we jumped in this morning.
So for the technically minded, there's a scripting technique called level list injection, and that's what this uses. So it basically pulls all of the items, all of the loot items, all of the consumable items, the chems, the ammo, the weapons, everything, and it adds them to the loot lists for Appalachia. So you can find anything from Fallout 4 and its DLCs in Appalachia. You won't have to keep alternating between world spaces. You can actually be self-sufficient in Appalachia.
So there was a question asked by Super Cool. This may have been asked or an FAQ. Did you recreate the map of 76, or could it be primitively ported? I may have lost him. Okay,
sorry, that might have been me. So it's all being done by hand from scratch, using Fallout 76 as a visual reference, which is why I spend so much time in 76 getting screenshots and everything. I would never say anything's impossible. The ingenuity in the modding community is almost endless. But I would say from experience, if some kind of method or technique was found that would allow you to try and port or import the map from 76 to 4, one, it wouldn't work. There's lots of technical differences at an engine level between the two games that would prevent you being able to do that properly. And secondly, the amount of work you would have to do to make that resultant map playable, visually correct and workable in Fallout 4 is insane, to the point where it would probably be a better use of your time to do it this way from scratch. And that way, not only would you get it accurate, but you wouldn't bring across some of the issues caused by differences between the two games.
Right.
That's what I would say. So I wouldn't say that some kind of port or being able to transplant the map, if you like, is impossible. But I would say it was unfeasible. I wouldn't think it would be a good idea to do that. So that's why this is taking some time. If it was possible to port it, I'm sure somebody would have done it by now. I mean, 76 has been out since, 2018? So that's nearly 8 years already. I think if it was possible to be ported somehow, then it would have been done by now and I'd be wasting my time.
Honestly, at the end of the day, it is genuinely a. I don't think the port would be like you were saying with the technical difficulty on that one.
Yeah,
but like
I don't think you'd get the same quality.
No, I don't think so. Plus, like, you'd be going off of like with the port, you might have some problems that are in 76 make their way into the mod that you would have to solve. So
yeah, and you'd have to do so much manually anyway, like the landscaping and everything. You'd still have to nav mesh everywhere. You'd still have to do all of the complex stuff behind the scenes to make the world work. So But in my experience, even if it was technically possible, the time investment to make that port work, be playable, and be of a good enough quality would be so enormous that you'd be better off just doing it from scratch, which is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think you chose the right method on doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are no shortcuts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was very wondering like what monster would be in Grafton. Like I was sitting there, I was like, surely the Grafton monster is still not around, right? Maybe the Grafton monster and its cryptid status has moved on. And there's a super behemoth there.
That's the Grafton monster now.
Yeah.
Super mutant
Yeah.
behemoth.
Not excited for that one, dog. Not, you know, I gotta say, you know, which one would I rather fight? Gotta say, I would rather fight the Grafton monster and know that I'm supposed to go for his blowholes. You know, like that's personally, that's just me. I don't like fighting super behemoths because smashy and kill me very quickly. I did before we finish up because we got 14 minutes before we raid over to Vita.
This location is a good example actually of getting somewhere accurate. This is all built from Nuka World assets, believe it or not. So there were some material swaps to change the colours and appearance of some pieces.
Right.
This is Wavy Willow's water park, but it's apart from the big crocodile you see there, which a friend did for me. This is all Nuka World props. They're just they were very good in '76 at using existing assets in a very different way to make it look like there was new things. So you just have to have a keen eye to be able to replicate it.
And look, I think you've done a great job at this. And like honestly, the more I went back and played Fallout 4, because that was the first Fallout game that my wife has even like enjoyed, because she doesn't enjoy 76 for some reason, but it's okay. I still love her. But in watching her play a lot more like Fallout 4 and then me going back to do a playthrough, you really do start to notice some of the like smaller things that look Nuka World, but then you're like, my God, the like even just changing a little bit of saturation, changing a little bit of the color, it's absolutely awesome.
You're a little bit unlucky here. I think.
The magazine didn't spawn?
No, there's a rare vendor that sells legendary items only, and he has a random chance to appear there.
So you even included some new random encounters in here.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let's go.
This character you're using, have you destroyed the Institute, by the way?
Questions I don't know the answer to.
Right.
It was on my last Fallout 4 playthrough, and that was I've slept since then.
If you've destroyed the Institute, there's another random encounter where you can be ambushed by coursers that have been left stranded out in the field, and they're pretty tough.
And so that's one thing that I really like about this project, and like what you had in the notes, is the simple fact that your choices matter.
Yes.
In this. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's one thing a lot of like Fallout fans have always wanted, is like my choice matters. You know, it's one of those things that's like when I saw the notes on the project, I'm like, oh, this is really nice that like if I make a decision in Fallout 4 and then go to Appalachia, it impacts this area.
One of the big things will be how you resolve things, or what your relationship is with the children of Atom in Far Harbor. Somebody mentioned before, where you mentioned about how many nukes would have been dropped on Appalachia in the last 185 years. So the White Spring will not be here. That'll just be a huge radioactive crater, having been nuked so much.
No, we would never have nuked that place.
What? It will be the central hub for the children of Atom. So your relationship with them will kind of influence the kind of experience that you're going to have there.
So are you telling me that I actually have to do a playthrough where I'm nice to the children of Atom? Is that what you're trying to?
You don't have to, but it might be harder if you're not on good terms with them.
Good.
But there are so many layers of that reactivity where your choices matter. So whether or not you finish the storyline of Fallout 4 will influence your experience. If you did, which faction you sided with will influence your experience. And that there are so many examples of that. Another example is if you completed Nuka World and one of the raider gangs betrayed you, then that will have a bearing on your experience in Appalachia, because the gang that betrayed you will have moved to Appalachia. So they will be somewhere.
Ooh.
So lots and lots and lots of things you do across Fallout 4 in its DLCs and in Appalachia itself, of course, are going to have an influence on your experience.
I had to come over here to the Burning Springs because, I mean, the quickness...
This is still work in progress, Burning
right.
Springs.
But
haven't
like,
quite got the weather right yet.
But the quickness, like Burning Springs just came out. Like, legitimately just came out not too long ago.
Actually,
and y'all are already working on it.
Burning Springs so far has proved to probably be the easiest one to replicate.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah, because
the landscape just isn't as dense and it isn't as complex. It's not like the forest where there's loads of stuff. It's pretty bland. It's very similar to Nuka World, actually. So what you see in Burning Springs here is based off Nuka World and the environment and everything that you see there.
I gotta wonder, is there going to be anyone telling me, "Hey there, killer, come see me at Highway Town"? Is 185 years later, is the ghoul still like hanging around?
As I say in the notes, I'm trying to stay consistent with established lore and canon.
No, I know.
So one of the questions I get asked is, will any of the characters from Fallout 76 be here? And the short answer is no.
Yeah.
Because Fallout 76 still has an evolving narrative, we don't yet know what happens to those characters. So everything here is implied rather than explicitly explained. So there will be bounties. So in a similar way that you can pick up bounty hunter quests in Diamond City, I'll be doing a very similar thing here, based in Highway Town, but they'll be a little bit more elaborate than just pick up a notice and go and kill somebody. So there is a bounty plan.
So the ghoul statement actually did exactly what it was supposed to do, in the simple fact
somebody
that
in the chat has...
it triggered Ellie.
Yeah,
he's in the ground, Gassy. Yeah, I am nothing but a trap card. That's what some of my friends, they're like, you don't really watch anime, but you know enough just to irritate.
That's precisely why everything here is implied, because I'm well aware of how passionate the community is about continuity and lore. Canon. I don't want to go there.
See, I'll trigger the chat for you. Like I'll fall on that sword and make sure that they're still awake and paying attention.
He would still be in the ground. He would, yeah.
Technically he would. But yeah, I'm super
I'm interested to find out how he ended up in the ground.
That's the thing I'm excited about as well. Like I'm hoping in season 3 they do some
I hope there's a reveal,
some callbacks and stuff like that to older stuff.
I mean, he's a bit of a tough cookie, so whoever got him there,
well, that's the biggest question at the end of the day, is like, what's going on here? And I'm very excited to see what the future holds for Fallout in general, the mod project that you're working on. I think we've got a lot of stuff that's coming out, at least on 76 side.
I just wish they'd stop doing map expansions, because it just adds to my workload.
And here's the great thing for you, is you do not have to worry about map expansions anymore this year. From the interview with John Rush, because he was thinking about lunch. We will have more of a thickening of Appalachia. So while you may not have to worry about map expansions, you may have to worry about new locations. Like with Dalgwydalf being gone, we've got The jailbreak is gone now, so we don't have to worry about Malone getting put back into his prison cell and stuff like that.
Oh, if they removed that?
Yeah, that I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I do believe that was talked about being taken out as well.
I didn't notice that. I didn't know that.
There was a few things because Dogwood Dolph took up too much location. Maybe it's not that jailbreak's gone. Maybe it's just like very rare to get. But I thought it was gone. Right. Jailbreak has been suspended. That's okay. That's why it's in my brain like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited.
It might come back in a different iteration. I mean, they had the same thing with the Halloween event, didn't they?
Right, exactly. That got taken out and came back in a different way.
Yeah.
I got to get away from these cars because of the ye old explosion. Yeah, no, the jailbreak was a good one. Dogwood Dolph was great just for the chance at rare items, but I never got lucky with that sort of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for the future of Fallout and the amount of work that y'all have put in to this project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
It genuinely, it takes a community, and like looking at the notes down on the bottom of them, you know, talking about like Kung Fu Man, Hayo, Laren, Newermind, Ricey? I can't speak sometimes.
Rice cakes.
Rice cakes. Oh, okay. Lewis, Albino, Ronan, and Jet, like just talking about like it, and it's one of those things that too, like the Fallout community is always like. So say somebody in the community tells me something, anytime I bring it up, it's like, yep, you thank that person because you wouldn't have known without it. And that's a thing that's really nice to see in the mod space of Fallout, is that it's the same way where everybody gives.
Somebody did ask earlier in the chat, is this a team thing or is it a solo project? It's largely solo. It's largely just me.
Mm-hmm.
The people I've mentioned there, and there's a couple of other folks as well I need to add to that list. They're people that will chip in with asset recreations. There aren't actually that many here. Surprisingly, this is 99% Fallout 4 assets. But sometimes there's just no way to represent something that you see in 76 in 4. So the people there, they help me out with some 3D modeling and texture work from time to time when I need it. But that's more than anything just a fallback. Everything else, all of the landscaping and the level design and everything else, that's just little old me.
and it's for the love of the game that you do it.
It is, yeah.
It's for the love.
It is. This is my love letter to the Fallout community, I would call it.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Well, is there anything in the last few minutes before we raid out? Is there anything that you'd like everybody to hear? Like I said, I'll do a little shout out to the Discord, but go ahead if there's anything that you would like to.
By all means, feel free to drop by the Discord and have a look. So I do update that very regularly, almost daily actually. So the channel you really want to keep an eye on is the development diary. That's a bit of a tell-all, warts and all, of progress made with the project and things that have gone wrong, because things do go wrong. And actually, one of the things I'm really trying to encourage is any ideas, suggestions, thoughts, feelings on what you think should be in the mod and what should be in there. More than welcome. As I said before, I don't have a monopoly on ideas. And actually, there are several things in the project that have come from community suggestions. So you're in the Pip-Boy there. If you go to the radio tab...
Yeah, you can actually see the...
including Appalachia Radio was a suggestion by somebody. And you will find that as an Easter egg, it just loops Cole Porter's song on loop. Because that's what the DJ in 76 says. If she hadn't have turned up, it would have been Anything Goes by Cole Porter on loop. So that's what's actually happened. And that was a suggestion from a community member. So any ideas like that are more than welcome.
I noticed that earlier because I was sitting there. I was like, oh, wait, it just sits there and loops that. Okay. Yeah. But y'all, seriously, thank y'all so much for being here. Desire, thank you so much for taking the time to show off this mod. Let's get over to Vita and raid out. But seriously, y'all, thank you so much we'll catch you next go around at 3 p.m. With Legend checking out their survival mod overhaul.